The year is coming to an end and I've started on lots of different things I wanted to do this year. I'm studying accounting, I started seriously drawing around this time last year, I've done some creative writing, and at the tail end of it all, I started this channel. At first, I didn't know exactly what type of channel I was interested in making, but after a little bit of thinking, it hit me. Anime has always been one piece of media that has fascinated me. There's so many pieces to the puzzle that I thought a lot of people would never stop to fully appreciate. It became my mission with this channel to spread the word of anime that I think should be looked at more. At times, I might just be a guy spouting nonsense about some trashy show or book he likes, but I think there's been more than a few times where I find a gem of a story. As my end of the year video, I want to share what I thought was 2022's best slice of life anime. This is me in the future. At the time I was writing this video, I was scared that the title would be too clickbait if I were to call this anime the best of the year. However, because of recent rank changes on my anime list, I think I'm valid in thinking that this is the best anime that came out this year. There's plenty of people who agree with me, and I stand by the statement that this is the best anime of the year. Back to the video. The anime is Bocchi the Rock, a slice of life music anime that took what I assumed to be most people by surprise. There is no talk about this anime, and with the manga having no solid prior fan base, there were no manga readers up in our face obnoxiously preaching about it. I thought it looked nice and right up my alley, so I was planning on watching the show since it was revealed. If I were to describe Bocchi the Rock as one thing, it would be the K-On! We always wanted but never got. I genuinely felt like this when watching the first episode, and if it makes you upset, I'm sorry, but it's the truth. Think of a modernized K-On! With actual character development, rather than a show just aimlessly going through the motions of a high school slice of life. It's honestly annoying at how many slice of life shows have good premises, like Hinako no with its theater club gimmick, but ultimately give up the chance of a well-developed plot for the idea of cute girls doing cute things. I'm not opposed to a show ultimately being this, it just gets tiring when the past 9 out of 10 shows I've watched have done this. I need like a hard reset to regain my senses, you know? I think one of the things that got me interested in this show was the amount of investment the whole team behind this anime had put into it. I don't mean to sound corny, but this production is a passion project. There's parts of the animation, the performance of the voice actors, and the level of work put into the music that screams out, people care about this anime. There's a couple of things I want to talk about regarding this show, so let's get into it. One of the things that immediately caught my eye was the animation and art style of this anime. Someone who reviewed the show mentioned the art style and how it was so simple that it was boring. It confuses me why someone would think this, but my guess is that they're not deep into the slice of life rabbit hole. Lots of shows like Bocchi the Rock have simpler art styles that make it look cuter and, in my opinion, make it more creatively charged. I think it's because of the simple art style that the animators are able to pull off stylistic visual jokes more easily than if it were finely detailed. There are lots of scenarios that the main character, Bocchi, likes to play out in her head. She has a very wild imagination, so things can get a little out of hand when she goes off into her own little world. The animators did a very good job of capturing the madness that is Bocchi's overthinking mind. The corners of the mind that the consciousness visits when you lose track of your own thoughts can be very absurd. I would know because, in a way, I relate to Bocchi in that hyper-introverted lifestyle that she's always been wanting to break out of. To anyone who might think the anxiety Bocchi displays is over-exaggerated, let me tell you from personal experience, it is not. If anything, this is the realest depiction of crippling anxiety that I've seen in an anime. We're almost at the end of the first season, and she's still having episodes in public about how she's below the level of a water flea. The animation keeps your attention throughout the whole episode, and flows a lot smoother and nicer than other slice of life shows before it. It's different and executes it very well. Next up is the voice acting. The voice acting is not two-dimensional. The actors feel like they are their characters. Bocchi feels like the awkward girl who keeps to herself when around others, but when she's by herself and inside her head, she lets her personality run rampant. The acting expresses this flawlessly, and it makes the characterization of the girls not feel empty and soulless. I'm gonna use a metaphor to describe what it feels like, so please don't laugh at my bad comparison. Your average slice of life can sometimes feel like the characters are frisbees. You'll be able to entertain yourself with it for a while, but it only travels well horizontally, so eventually you'll become bored of it. Meanwhile, Bocchi the Rock characters feel like a basketball. It moves well on any plane of access, and it can even bounce, giving it an extra dimension of depth and play to how you can keep yourself interested in it. While writing this, it sounds pretty fucking spot on, but if it sounds dumb while recording, I'm going to be so upset. It's not only with Bocchi, but with all of the characters also. The slice slight excitement when Ryo gets praised or complimented compared to her more stoic side, the thoughtful Nijika compared to her cheerful and happy side, the caring Kita compared to her usual hype self. There are multiple sides to each of the characters in this show when in low-effort stories, most of the characters can be considered gimmicks. I think this comes off as very apparent when you watch the show, and lets you believe in the world that they live in. It's very sweet in a sense. One of the final things I want to talk about is the amazing music that comes out from this show. No, it's not like K-On! Music where it feels like it was made for cutesy anime, or like other openings from shows that make it out to be about the show itself. It feels like Kesoku Band is a genuine music group and sings about relatable stuff. I'm gonna be real, I would listen to Kesoku Band unironically. Their instrumentals are really headbanging with their faster songs, and can be smooth when they tone it down to something slower. They harmonize together very well, and can match the mood of anything they want to sing about. I would say more about their music technically, but I'm not very knowledgeable. I just listen to the beeps and boops, and when I tried dabbling in it, I would just put together what sounded nice. When I looked at the lyrics of their songs, I was surprised. In the show, Bocchi writes the lyrics to their songs, and with the way she is, the lyrics make sense. The dynamic characters make the lyrics of the song so much more interesting than if it were any other music anime. They feel like they can leave an impact on any person who listens to them. They're real, but catchy at the same time. It's something people don't know how to do lyrically. Put this all together, and you have a real song. Something that a real band would put together and put out for all their fans to listen to. In the story, Kesoku Band is just barely forming and are trying to get their name out to the people who come to listen to them. Well, they got my vote for favorite band with the music that they put out. There's one complaint that people seem to bring up, shonen fans, and it's that Bocchi the Rock has no story and is a whole plate of nothing. Unseasoned chicken at best. Well, I think anyone who has watched a couple of slice of life shows knows that this is slander. It's an uneducated opinion based on the fact that there's no life-threatening stakes at play, and that there's no big villain who the characters need to defeat. They're right in that sense. There is no villain that needs to be defeated, but rather a goal that they want to achieve. Bocchi wants to form a rock band and become popular. She wants to be seen as a cool person to the people around her. This might not seem like the most valiant objective, but it's something that Bocchi has never felt in her life. She wants to feel like she's someone. I don't know what she feels like since I had friends growing up, but imagining and immersing myself into Bocchi's shoes, I can understand the need to feel significant in any sense. It's sad, but if you really put some empathy into it, it's understandable. Nijika also has a dream. It's the reason that Kesoku Band even formed in the first place. Everyone in the band has their own motivations for wanting to be part of the group. Whether it's as simple as having fun or as grandiose as being the most popular band in their generation, there is a goal to work towards. The steps they take to increase their reach and slowly grow out of being a small name is something I'd love to watch, all the way to the end. It's a different type of journey than your typical shonen, but I don't think of it as anything less. I guess in the end, it just lies with what adventures you find exciting and which ones you want to see the end of. Bocchi the Rock really hyped me up into watching more anime with dynamic plots that aren't your typical storyline. I'm not saying that Bocchi the Rock is doing it the best, but with the effort put into its production, I think it increases the value of the anime as a story. I really recommend watching it and enjoying it for yourself. That'll be all from me. Thank you for watching the video. Leave a comment talking about your favorite character. Mine would probably have to be Nijika. Make sure to like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.